good, wine family?
Hey guys.
So we're back with another video. Today we wanted to do something a little different and talk about some things that we've been seeing within the media. Given we said Wine Down is not only about bringing forth mental health awareness, it's also teaching skills. We're talking about some pop culture and tying that in too.
So today we're drinking the Black Girl Magic Riesling. So yeah, like Jazz is saying, we pulled these headlines from different media. I started off with one of the taglines that I'm sure you guys have seen. It's Alexis Sky when she got into it with one of her best friends, ex-best friends. And then Tommy came back and had like a little quote talking about loyalty, and we thought that would be interesting because it kind of went back to like our toxic friendship video. Especially because like if that's your best friend, don't be airing out their dirt. That was something they told you.
And confidence.
Yeah, and you their best friend, that's bogus.
Right. Like sometimes people, like we said in the last couple videos, you have snakes in this grass, which, you know, pretend to be your friends. So don't take face value for who people say that they are, because they may not. They may be plotting on you in the long haul, because why else would you put someone else's business out there like that?
So it's kind of like they just holding on to that.
If that's your intentions, why even be friends with that person? I get it. Like if some people do you dirty, you want to have someone up, or you want to like put their business out there. But a lot of times you got to take the high road. Like, you know, Michelle Obama says, when they go low, you go high. Like, don't feed into that, because what is that really bringing you? Like, did you get paid off of putting her on blast?
Yeah, that's dirty.
Ultimately, I do want to ask the question though, do you tell your best friend everything?
Yeah. Let's talk about it.
Yeah.
So, I have a lot of people that I would consider my best friends. Not a lot, but I got a handful, and I don't tell all of them the same thing that I tell the other. Like, I don't know. I feel like sometimes I have certain friends for certain parts of my life that I know that they could support me on. So if it's something that I feel like is like a mental health type question, I'll go to Jazz. Like, I know she'll, you know, help me with that part. But if it's like a random, I don't know. I feel like I tell Jazz most things, but I'm trying to think of like something different that I would talk to.
Random stuff?
No, something that I would talk to somebody else about. Like, I don't know. But I do feel like I don't tell all my friends. I might tell them eventually, but not like at the same time.
I agree with that. It just depends on the level of a bond you have with the person at that exact moment, because it may be someone you feel closely connected to, who you talk to during that season or that time period, where you just want to go to them and tell them about everything. Whereas in others, it's like, you know, if I tell you, how are you going to respond? Or you may be afraid what that person may say. But if that's your friend, they shouldn't necessarily judge you. Some will judge you and tell you about yourself. But
I wouldn't say it's necessarily a judgment, though. They just keeping it real.
Yeah, that too.
And sometimes you need that type of friend. So.
And if you don't know what that looks like, I mean, kind of evaluate. Do some reflection. See if that person really is your friend, has your back at the end of the day, and you're just maybe overreacting. Okay, so the next headline that we wanted to talk about was a woman who shot her boyfriend in the face after he caught her cheating. Yes.
Wow.
He caught her cheating and she shot him.
Like, wow. Wow. That's all you could say.
Yeah,
wow.
Wow.
Like, I don't know what was going on through her head. I guess that was the guilty conscience talking, like,
like, dang, I just gotta do something at this moment.
But that went kind of far. Like, you didn't have to shoot him. Maybe, no, I'm not gonna promote violence. I was gonna say maybe slap him, but no, let's not even promote violence.
Let's not do that.
Just don't do it. Like, why would you do that?
Yeah. And my thing is, it sounds to me as though they probably live together. I really don't know the full extent of the story, but it's like, you know, he walks in and catches them cheating, so he had to have a key or some way to get into the place that she lives.
He caught her in the bed.
Yeah. So cheating is a no-no for one. But if you're in a relationship and you're trying to have a relationship or do your own thing, either communicate with the person that you're with to see if that's something that they are willing to do as well, or just don't be in a relationship. I don't get the reason for cheating if you're with somebody. That never made sense to me. For one, and then for two, like, how are you going to shoot him because you were cheating?
Because you went around.
Yeah, I mean, ultimately, I know when people get caught up in certain situations, they don't know how to deal, know how to react. So their first thing to do is either retaliate, and sometimes is violence, unfortunately. But yeah, this situation is just
pretty sad.
Yeah, wild.
So another wild story. A stepfather shoots his stepson in the face, killed him after just being in the house. I guess they got into an argument, but we, looks like we keep going back to our old videos, but that goes back to the toxic family one.
So if you have not watched the toxic family relationships, please watch it so you can understand what toxic traits look like within a family dynamic.
Mm-hmm. You can recognize those signs.
Well, actually look at all of the videos because all of them have toxic traits. Period.
Share them.
That way you can kind of gauge for what toxic traits are.
How prevalent.
Yeah. Because if you look at the videos, you can definitely see in there all the traits that may make up a toxic relationship. In addition to that, I know it said that DCFS has had decreased cases of abuse and neglect being reported, which is awesome. However, there are still people that may be suffering from certain.
I was about to say, I feel like that statistic is only there because the schools are closed. So the teachers can't really report the abuse that they were seeing their students go through. So now it's just sad that these kids they're not being seen anymore.
Yeah.
And it sucks because we don't know what's happening to them behind closed doors in their house, especially during this time where their parents are probably stressed out due to this coronavirus. And so it's just a lot of factors that play into it. And so, yes, it's a great thing that, the reports have gone down, but it's is that true though?
It's really accurate. Yeah.
What's really happening?
And that's a good point too, because if you think about it, if teachers are providing online instruction, 9 out of 10 that child is in the home, so it isn't like they can necessarily talk to that professor or teacher one-on-one because it may be a classroom setting,
and their parent might be around.
There, so it's what can I really say and do right now? But we have resources on the Wine Down page. Please utilize them. If you don't want to report to your teacher, you can be the person to call that number yourself. Or if you are in imminent danger, call 911, please. Because I hate seeing stuff like this, especially if it could have been prevented.
Yeah, and so now that makes me think well, what is the mom thinking? She's got to feel some type of guilt, and that's just sad because it's almost like she brought the husband or, the stepfather into the situation. So she's probably feeling guilty. So my heart goes out to that family. But yeah, if you guys need to, you notice any of these toxic traits, toxic signs, make sure you really pay attention and use those resources.
Right. Or even reach out, do that. Because then that way we can provide you with our expertise, our knowledge, if it's something that warrants further action.
So the next headline is that our good old home city of Chicago wanted to throw a big party. So TMZ was saying that it was 10,000 people in this party, and I just know that was a lie. I think they said it was 1,000 people at this party.
It was an Airbnb.
But I know 1,000 people weren't there.
Yeah.
Maybe over 100. Well over 100, but not 1,000. Either way it go, y'all should be practicing social distancing. I mean, I know we're not 6 feet apart, but y'all, it was a lot of y'all on top of each other.
I heard there was a stripper there.
Yeah, I saw that shit. I saw that.
What?
Wow.
I mean, I get it. People been creating OnlyFans pages and things like that to get their money because they can't really necessarily make money.
She should have did that though, because why would you go to a party naked. You're more exposed to the virus now.
It's like, Chicago, are you really taking it seriously? Because I feel like at the rate we're going,
we ain't gonna never open back up.
It's gonna be until next year until we actually open up. They already extended it a month. They're talking about extending it another month.
Do better. I want to go outside. And I think we should just...
I mean, I get it. It's stressful. You want to have some fun, some enjoyment. But what are you costing at the end of the day? Like, you know, you end up getting sick. Then what?
You're going to be sad.
Y'all just got to do better because it's making it tougher on everyone else who's trying to practice social distancing, safe practices in order to get the city, the state, the country back up and running, because I'm not trying to be in the house anymore. Like, I'm not trying to work from home.
It's so boring.
None of that. Like,
it's so boring.
It's sad that people just can't follow simple rules. It's like those kids in class where it's like, okay, if y'all be silent, then we can go out for recess. But you got them two people
that want to play.
Then it's like, all right, recess is over. We can't even go outside because two people who want to act the fool. Don't be them two people. Mm-hmm. Last headline. So, number 45, also known as Donald Trump.
Also known as Agent Orange.
I was like, what you gonna say?
He a carrot.
But this man went on a, what was it, not a conference, but
CNN, I think. It was some kind of conference, like news conference, press conference.
So Donald Trump went on the news and said pretty much, you know, what if we start injecting Lysol, get rid of germs? And as a result, a high number of calls went into New York's poison control because of a lot of people trying to inject Lysol in themselves.
Like, come on, y'all. Do better. Do better.
Like,
why would you inject some Lysol and bleach into you? Like, what is wrong with people? Why would y'all listen to that?
It just goes to show how much influence a person can have, because...
And how much common sense is not common. We can go on a whole rant about that.
Man, all the things that Donald Trump has put out here.
Supposing we hit the body with a tremendous, whether it's ultraviolet or just very powerful light, and I think you said that hasn't been checked, but you're going to test it. And then I said, supposing you brought the light inside the body, which you can do either through the skin or in some other way. And I think you said you're going to test that too. Sounds interesting.
We'll get the right folks who could.
Right, and then I see the disinfectant where it knocks it out in a minute, 1 minute. And is there a way we can do something like that by injection inside or almost a cleaning? Because you see it gets on the lungs and it does a tremendous number of the lungs. So it'd be interesting to check that. So that you're going to have to use medical doctors with.
Clarify your comments about injections of disinfectant. They're quite provocative.
No, I was asking a question sarcastically to reporters like you, just to see what would happen. I was asking a very sarcastic question to the reporters in the room about disinfectant on the inside. But it does kill it, and it would kill it on the hands, and that would make things much better.
He didn't say this, or he didn't do this. Like, honestly, stop listening to Donald Trump. Like, listen to the people that actually have expertise in this subject matter, because he's just setting a lot of people up for
failure.
Yeah, pretty much.
So, in conclusion, basically, guys, stay in the house, social distance, don't inject bleach, because don't do that. Don't be toxic. Get your help. Do some self-reflecting during this time.
Yes.
It's the perfect time to do some self-reflecting. Get rid of those toxic traits, and
You'll be all right. Bye.